as we promised, we are going to run, right? I am going to increase 50, initially start with 50 users, increment it by 50 users every 10 seconds, right? And it's a too fast a ramp up. Imagine you did a lot of marketing, so many users can come to this site and then start using your product. It will become slow, right? The more advertisements you give, the more users you attract. When they come to your site, they will be having issues. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm starting with 50 users. Now I'm increasing this to 1000 users. Okay. Now I'm making the duration as 4 minutes. As we promised, let us try to run 1000 users. See what happens to this system. Run it. A few people have asked, when do we do analysis? Who does analysis, etc. The first thing is, you need to run the test. Create the script, run the script. Only when it runs for X number of users, minimum, or as asked by the customers, you start digging the analysis part of it, right? So you don't do the analysis right at the first shot. You create the scripts, you configure the scripts and run the scripts. Then only when there is a problem you start doing the analysis part of it, right? So you don't do the analysis right at the beginning. We will do towards the end. We have crossed around 40 minutes in our webinar. I have taken one system, one application. We started with 10 users. Look at the gradation, 10 users, 50 users, 200 users, 500 users. Now we are running 1000 users. And if you look at the response time, the hits are increasing. Let us see, pretty much like last time, is it going to throw the same way? How it works? Let us see. Obviously there will be something changing. One person asked, why is the response time increasing? Obviously because if you are hitting the page, right, when I hit the category cats page, it needs to go to the database. Server has to get me the data of cats. So it goes to the database and then fetches the data. That takes time. The data has to come from the server to this Neoload machine. That takes time. So time will definitely increase as users increase. Now if you look at this, we are up to 500 users or even 600 users, right? A lot of things coming up, still going strong, no issues. What other graphs are available with this? We will come to those things. As I said, first 1 hour we need to observe applications with runs. Then we start doing the analysis part. Okay, I will show you when users increase how the CPU increases. Those things we will come to that slightly later. Right? At least I want you to observe the runs first, right? Okay, fine. Okay, do you see the response time increasing? Can you show raise your hands? Do you see the response time continuously increasing, especially in this range? Right? Can you please raise the hands? Now we have hit almost like 950 users. Oh, great. 1000 users. 1000 users are hitting the system. Even the average response time is 2.5 seconds still. But still, let the run finish. It's not the end of it. You need to ensure that the run finishes. So now even the average response time was not within 1 second. It was going beyond 3.5 or 4 seconds. So So did you notice errors do happen, right? We have reached 1,000 users. There is a red mark, error happening. Can you please raise the hands if you observe that? Right? See, there is an error appearing over here. How many of you have seen the response time towards the end of it going wrong, right? Maybe when users are releasing, something bad happens in the system. Response time go bad. And in fact, it is going mad, like even 100 seconds, right? I could see people raising hands now. This is exactly what you need to observe first. Observe the hits, the errors, the response time. Okay, good. Look at this. Still, somewhere the users, still 44 virtual users, they are still coming out of the system. Towards the end, response time goes bad. Maybe if I'm installing the system, if 1,000 users hit, when users are exiting, it is having a problem. Why it is having a problem? That's a different diagnosis. That is not part at this point of time. We will still do that, but that's a next part. But at one point of time, when we reached 1,000 users, it was showing error at this point of time, right? There were errors, but still the system was not releasing 32 users to go out of it. Even they want to come out of it. It's not coming because for those users, people who are at the end, towards the end of the run, right, the response time went almost like 175 seconds for some users. That means this is very important. Watch out, right? Right? Okay. Do you all see errors coming towards the end now? At this point of time, can you raise the hands? So many errors do happening. When 1,000 users are inside the system, it was not happening, but when the users start exiting, it was happening. Now you could see a lot of errors happening. I will show you the errors, right? Right? This is exactly the problem. We never had issues, errors up to 500 users. When we have 1,000 users, the problem started happening here. The errors started happening here. You could see the same thing. From here, maybe at the 4th minute, the x-axis is the minutes. 4th minute, from 4th minute, some error happened. Response time zoom, right? It was going up and up and up. That is bad. So the number of errors, that means 2 errors happened here, 5 errors happened here, 10 errors happened here. That means errors do happen towards the end for some reason. Still, for certain users, response time was so high. That means if 1,000 users hit, right, for most of the users, your response time will be well within the limit. But for about 50 to 100 users, right, the response time will be very high. Now the question is, if you are one of the 50 users who are getting this 175 seconds response, will you be happy? That's the question I ask you. You cannot, right? You cannot be happy. Look at this. We ramped up 50 users, 1,000 users we did. Response time, exactly at this point something bad happened, right? From this time, response time was going high. If you come down into the same thing, there is an error. Network error, miscellaneous I/O error when connecting to the server, right? Somewhere the users are not able to connect to the system, to the server. So the connection was having a problem. Then why the connections happened? That means for 30 users, there had been problems. So out of 1,000 users, for 30 users, it was not working fine. And imagine if those 30 users are spending thousands of dollars in you will lose that money, right? Now if you come down in this one, right? Typically the response time, if you see here, previously we used to see less than a second. Now the max is, for some user it was giving 147 seconds. That is bad. For some, on an average, this headlines.xml page was giving 25.7 seconds, but all the other pages worked very well within the limits. Right? Now, this is one application. Okay. Now,